2026. Pontiac Bonneville. A name pulled straight from the golden age of American muscle and thrown violently into the electric future. You thought Pontiac was dead. You thought the Bonneville was nothing more than a relic, a ghost of mid-century ambition, a badge buried in chrome and tail fins. But in 2026, GM made a move no one expected, resurrecting the Bonneville nameplate and using it as a launchpad for a car that doesn't just look forward, but challenges the entire modern performance market. This isn't nostalgia. It's provocation. The 2026 Bonneville isn't about looking back. It's about setting fire to what came before. And on this episode of Build and Burn, we're tearing into every inch of it, from platform to powertrain, from design language to drivetrain philosophy. Let's start at the beginning. Pontiac was officially shuttered in 2010, a victim of GM's bankruptcy-era streamlining. The brand had been in decline for years, phasing out the Firebird, the GTO, and eventually becoming little more than badge-engineered sedans and rebadged imports. But enthusiasts never forgot. Pontiac wasn't just a division. It was an attitude. It was noise. It was defiance. And in 2022, when GM began teasing a new F-Performance division under its Ultium platform, the rumors started swirling. By mid-2024, GM confirmed the unthinkable. The Bonneville name was coming back, but this time, it would wear the flag for an all-new electric performance sub-brand, separate from Chevy and Cadillac. No screaming V8. No rear-wheel drive-only platform. Instead, an F architecture that prioritized raw speed, high-speed stability, and long-range touring capability, all wrapped in a body that looked more like a spacecraft than a sedan. Here's what they delivered. The 2026 Bonneville is a four-door fastback Grand Tourer. It rides on GM's expanded Ultium Prime platform, a wider, lower, stiffer evolution of the original Ultium base used in the Lyriq and Blazer F. But don't let the shared DNA fool you. This thing is engineered from the ground up for speed, range, and control. Dual motor configuration standard. Tri-motor optional. AWD on all variants. The flagship Bonneville Apex Edition. 0-60 in 2.4 seconds. Top speed, 191 miles per hour. Range, 410 miles on the EPA cycle. But those are just numbers. What matters is how it gets there. The battery pack is a 117 kWh unit, liquid-cooled, flat-packed beneath a magnesium composite floor. It's not the biggest battery on the market, but it's optimized for thermal efficiency, fast discharge, and regen tuning. That regen is serious, up to 0.7 grams deceleration under full one-pedal mode. The motors are GM's Gen 3 permanent magnet units with liquid stator cooling and integrated inverter housings. Torque vectoring is handled entirely by software, and that's one of the breakthroughs here. The Bonneville doesn't just apply torque. It predicts movement. Using a neural feedback system tied to GPS, inertial sensors, and gyroscopic stability controls, the car anticipates yaw and lateral load shifts before they happen. On the road, that means the Bonneville feels almost telepathic. On the track, it means you can drive it like a rear-wheel bruiser or an all-wheel grip monster, depending on your settings. Because yes, there are settings. The 2026 Bonneville comes with 4 core drive modes: Glide, Pulse, Apex, and Burn. Glide is your hyper-efficient long-range mode, prioritizing comfort, minimal regen, soft steering weight, and gradual throttle mapping. Pulse is your everyday performance profile: firmer dampers, tighter response, more aggressive regen. Then there's Apex. This is the track mode. stiffens the suspension, fully activates torque vectoring, lowers the ride height by 35 mm, and boosts front-to-rear torque bias to 35-65. Throttle is razor-sharp. Region acts like an engine brake. Stability control is loosened, not removed. And finally burn. This is where things get wild. Burn mode overrides comfort. It's launch-focused, time-limited, and only available with the Apex edition. When activated, burn taps into a supercapacitor bank that delivers an instant 100 kilowatts boost for 7 seconds. It's not just a gimmick. It's engineered violence. Burn mode gives you max power, max torque, and full open cooling, and when it ends, the car needs a cool down. That's right. An F that demands a cool down lap. Welcome to the future of American performance. But let's talk about design, because this car makes a statement even before it moves. The 2026 Bonneville is low. It's long. And it's brutal. The design language pulls from GM's 60s and 70s muscle playbook but throws it into a cyberpunk blender. No grille. No fake vents. The front fascia is a shear-led blade, with active aero shutters that open only at speed. The rear is even more dramatic, an integrated camback tail with a deployable diffuser and a taillight blade that lights up with a signature ignition animation. Wheels? 21-inch forged aluminium standard. 22s on the Apex. Wrapped in custom Michelin E-Pilot PS tires, F-rated, high-performance, high-temp compound. Brakes? Brembo carbon ceramic on the Apex, with regenerative integration and electronic brake force distribution. 0.9 grams of braking force, no fade, no drama. Interior? Space-age muscle. Alcantara and anodized aluminium. A yoke-style steering system is standard, but a traditional round wheel is optional. GM finally figured out that not everyone wants to feel like they're piloting a drone. The digital cockpit is dominated by a 38-inch LED display, curved, running an all-new OS built on Unreal Engine 6. Response is instant. Graphics are smooth. And yes, every performance metric you could ever want is there: live G-force, thermal load, torque maps, aero load, even real-time tire deflection readouts. And then there's the sound. Because the Bonneville doesn't try to fake a V8. But it doesn't stay silent either. The car uses what GM calls the harmonic response generator, a synthetic audio system tuned not just to engine RPM equivalents, but to actual performance telemetry. That means the sound changes based on torque output, acceleration rate, and even battery thermal load. The result? It sounds like a jet turbine blended with an electric bass drop. It's not an engine note. It's a performance signature. Of course, not everyone's impressed. There's a camp-loud one that says Pontiac should have stayed dead. That the Bonneville name belongs to cast-iron blocks, oversteer, and straight-line chaos. That building an F under that badge is sacrilege. But here's the thing. The Bonneville wasn't just a muscle car. It was a speed car. A luxury speed machine. The 1957 model could outrun Corvettes. The 1965 model was one of the most powerful full-size sedans of its era. And the 2000s Bonneville GXP was a front-drive V8 freak with an attitude problem. The DNA isn't powertrain. It's purpose. And this 2026 version is faster, sharper, and more advanced than anything that came before it. Still, there are questions. Price, for one. The base Bonneville starts at $68,000. The Apex Edition? $97,000 before tax credits. That puts it squarely in the ring with the Tesla Model S Plaid, the Lucid Air Touring, and the Porsche Taycan 4S. Is it worth it? Well, that depends on what you value. The Tesla is faster in a straight line. The Lucid has more range. The Taycan is sharper at the limit. But none of them feel like this. The Bonneville isn't trying to be your commuter. It's not subtle. It doesn't want to blend in. It's a weapon. It's American defiance wrapped in carbon fiber and shot through with lightning. And in true build and burn fashion, GM made it tough to mod. The car uses encrypted AK firmware, integrated thermal governors, and proprietary fast charging ports. But the aftermarket is already working on bypass tools. There are whispers of jailbreak kits, burn mode hacks, torque split unlockers. The game is on. And GM knows it. Because hidden in the code of the Apex's firmware is something curious, a placeholder mode labeled Stage 2. Not active. Not documented. But it's there. And it suggests the Bonneville isn't done evolving. Could we see auto updates that unlock more power? Could GM be planning a 1000 horsepower limited edition? Maybe. Or maybe they're just leaving the door open. Because this isn't the end of Pontiac. It's just the rebirth. The Bonneville is the first. But there are murmurs: Solstice F Roadster concepts, Firebird GT crossovers. Even talk of a two-door GTO variant built on a shortened Ultium base. Whether that's vaporware or the future, one thing is certain: GM didn't bring back the Bonneville to play it safe. This is a declaration that American speed still matters. That performance can evolve. That silence can be terrifying. Because when the 2026 Bonneville launches, it doesn't roar. It doesn't growl. It doesn't announce itself with tailpipes and revs. It simply goes. Violently. Effortlessly. And in that moment, everything else feels slow. We built engines for 100 years. We burned fuel, tires, and limits. And now we're building batteries, burning electrons, and finding new edges to cross. The 2026 Bonneville isn't perfect. But it's honest. It's fast. It's angry. And it's here.